Back
Nico, that came out of left field.
What's that?
No.
Okay, anyway, hello, welcome back everyone. We're once again in the studio. We were just a last minute rush there because we was talking.
You missed my epic rant about Kiss
Niver.
We're talking about Kiss Niver based memes.
Not the song that's been put on the video.
Yeah.
Hopefully you would like that, but I mean.
Yeah, I will. But we have to listen to Britney Spears and we don't like it.
Shh, Daniel, don't mention anything to copyright people. Sony will come after us.
Britney Spears.
No!
Spitney Breeze.
Disney and Sony.
We don't talk about Spitney Breeze.
Yeah, that Spitney Breeze.
That's like something a guy from Dorset would say. It's like, oh, I really like that Spitney Beers. Fantastic.
Pub every night.
That's
Yeah.
what
me
that,
beers, dear.
that is what my life is basically like when I go home, going to the pub. It's like, all right, it's like, you're not too
All right
bad.
there, lass. What's that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Excuse me, can we please get back to our segment now,
Yes.
please?
Yes.
All right, Nathan.
Nathan.
Okay, I'm shuffling the mic closer.
Do.
So yes, anime soundtracks is what I'm going to be talking about. And
You.
it's a very broad topic. I mean, like, if I were to just say, like, I would split
They are
any
good.
sort of songs, anime soundtracks, into 5 categories. There are openings and endings,
Yes.
atmospheric songs,
Okay.
which might not even be songs at all. They might just be silence.
Ooh.
They're just anything that sets the mood of a place.
You know, music law says that actually does count as song, and you can
Yeah.
copyright that.
I would say scenic songs.
Well, you can
as
copyright
in-
silence.
Yes, they are genuine
Let's
soundtracks.
go.
There was a concert where they sat in silence for 45 minutes, and people paid £200 for that, and they
people-
clapped at the end.
Did people
It's
talk
true, it really
during it?
happened.
No,
Oh.
they literally sat there and they went,
Anything.
"Amazing, brilliant."
Oh, just wonderful.
Yeah,
Best nap
really
I've ever
felt
had.
it. Yeah, literally, the guy just came, sat down, flipped open the cave, and they just like that, just sat there.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Beautiful song about the sound of silence, except it's
Yes.
nothing.
Alright, sorry for the
But yes,
tangent.
about tangent. So yeah,
Yeah.
scenic songs, which are more sort of stuff that works along with the animation and the events going on.
Mhm.
Right. Usually they're not really fully blown songs, but perhaps musical accompaniment that works with the motions that happen. Like biggest example I can give, which I'm going to go into later, is Yuri's third season, which uses it really well.
Right.
Like it's hard to explain. It's the sort of
Give,
things you have to
sing
show
us an
people.
example of the song.
You are under no obligation. to
Welcome
sing.
to Anime Society Karaoke.
This is not karaoke night.
No.
We need to have a karaoke night.
That'd be
It'd
quite funny.
wonderful.
We'll have a karaoke.
You know I'd be cracking out every single song I
No
could sing.
singing.
Yeah.
Nerd singing.
No, singing is the best
Woo!
singing.
I would sing Steins
Why are you
Gates.
warring?
Alright, so the fourth type
Yes.
will be battle music or hype music.
Yep.
Ooh.
Which is basically the sort that everybody thinks of when you say anime soundtracks.
So
and I
like
think
Dragon, what?
so
why am I
like
saying Dragon?
Row,
Dragon Ball
Row,
Z.
Fight the Power, whatever.
Whoa,
Fight the power.
Or like the big orchestral tracks you hear when
Yeah.
people put them on.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, everything from Attack on Titan.
And I've got that song.
They actually got a German choir to sing that one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And then the fifth kind is insert songs, which aren't they might be openings. and
Is that like
endings.
our womanizer?
They're basically they're basically any sort of song with lyrics really that is inserted into the middle of like an anime, and usually when they're put in, it's I don't count it when they sort of extend the ending like JoJo does every time it plays
Yeah.
roundabout.
Yep.
But I mean, only example I can think directly in my head is in Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. During near the end, it has Last Stardust, which was a song specifically composed.
Yeah, there's
for it.
definitely like overlap, isn't there? So, kind of giving you a good example. The first time I heard the Tokyo Ghoul opening was
Yeah.
the last fight between Kaneki and Jason Yumori, whatever you want to call him. And I thought that was just good times. Like, such
Is
a
that
good
is that pull your teeth out, Jason?
It's such an oblique reference as well.
Yeah.
It's
No,
such,
it really isn't.
it's
What's it
I got it
referencing?
straight away.
He's called Jason. He has
Right.
a hockey mask. That's all you need to know about that being a reference.
That's all you need.
Oh, I'm sorry for
As
some
long
of
as
us who
you're at a
don't.
certain age.
That
What
makes
is that referencing?
Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. So obvious.
I'm of a certain age beyond horror stories.
You're older than me.
It's a horror film.
Yep.
It's like a cult classic.
It's a cult.
It is a cult.
There's
classic.
too many cult
It,
classics
emer-
these days.
it emerged in the slasher
Yeah.
era when like Texas became popular when Friday the 13th, when Nightmare on Elm Street was popular, which was then parodied by
Okay, I've seen
Scream
that.
in the 90s.
Seen that.
It's that whole slasher one that like Wes Craven whatnot with like stuff like The Hills of Eyes kind of popularized.
Okay, to be fair, I'm
Oh,
like
that movie
50-50
freaked
on
me
all
out.
those.
It's like some of them are fantastic. Usually that genre gets like dragged into the dirt because they try and remake it and it's awful.
Yeah,
Horrible.
but
Yeah.
returning to my point, and I suppose the Nathan segment, the first time I heard the Tokyo Ghoul opening, I didn't know it was an opening.
Yeah.
I thought it was battle music, and I thought it really worked well with the scene. And then because I don't normally watch openings, and I literally thought it was battle music.
Apart from all the good openings, I ignore.
Well, yeah. But so, yeah. Those are sort of like just the last kind. They're called insert songs because they're basically a full-blown song. Usually they overwhelm any of the other sound that happens during the scene and they're put into the animation like that. So those are sort of what I distinguish as the 5 kinds of like anime music there are. So
Do you ever do like a mix and match? What about the ones when normal people start to combine anime music?
what you mean when it's a
What?
part of what? What are you talking about?
Oh, you know, it's like it's a thing on YouTube. They get existing anime music and then they mold them together, try and get something better.
Something better.
Something better.
Yeah, but is
You
it ever
mean like
used in anime?
AMVs and things like that?
Yeah, we'll go over AMVs.
Anime music
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
not
we'll go with that.
really like you don't have an anime which has anime music videos in it.
Well, you do have some companies do make.
No, but they're
That's
fan made, aren't they?
No. There are genuine ones made by it. Like I can't remember. Do you remember what's that one we talk about? Detroit Metal City.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The company that made that, their primary job is making music videos, anime music videos. So they've made
Oh.
loads. And if you think a bit, do you remember Shakira, She-Wolf,
Mhm.
anime music video? Do you not remember that?
There's an anime music video
I
of
don't
She.
follow Shakira's
Yeah.
career, I'm afraid.
Basically,
But the
Shakira
hips don't
asked.
lie, dude.
Yeah,
I don't
Shakira
know, I
asked
thought she was
her.
dead.
No. Oh my god. You'd find out on stuff like. But anyway, Shakira asked her fans, and she said, "What do you guys want to see in my next music video?" And they said an anime one. She went, "Okay." She made an anime music video.
Still not
That
as
was
good
way
as
back
some
in
of
the
the
way.
other- some of the anime music videos made by complete.
Like it's really
Amateurs.
surprising sometimes
Yeah.
how like people just listen to what people on the internet tell them they want. Like, I know
Yeah.
Pitbull
Well-
went to a Walmart in Alaska because people from 4chan were in his road.
Oh, I guess.
And he actually went there and
Yeah.
like sung, yeah,
Yeah.
for like this Walmart in Alaska where very few people showed up.
Yeah, because it's Alaska. They're very few people
Yeah.
enjoyable.
But do you remember it's like 4chan hacked the. Do you know like Forbes or whatever? They said 100 most powerful people in the world.
Most influential
Oh,
people.
Yeah, like
Forbes
that, and
started the
they
list?
put the vote online. 4chan hacked it, and put themselves at the top.
That's an excellent way to prove the point.
Yeah.
Well, this mysterious hacker 4chan really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought, isn't like the insert stuff? I thought, isn't that stuff that Guilty Crown did quite a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Guilty
Mm.
Crown, as much as you can criticize the majority of that show, its music is still excellent because it's all Sony done. It's all Sony done.
Yeah, I didn't actually look up Guilty Crown. damn
Guilty
it, when I
Crown
was
does a lot of
researching.
music stuff because one of the main characters is an
Yeah.
idol, so they keep just inserting her.
I have heard that the only good thing
Yeah.
about Guilty Crown.
I think I'll
It's the
dive
music.
into a lot is like people seem to like neglect it, but like when
Yeah.
you think about anime like K-On! I know Love
Crayon?
Chaos.
Love Live Newspaper.
Okay.
Not
Oh, yeah,
only
back
do
in
you
Jack, oh.
have like voice actors who are
Right.
good at doing the voice acting role, they need to be able to work with the songs,
Yeah.
or at least
Hmm.
their voice seem to match whatever singer they've got for these songs that are very integral to the anime. And there's an entire sort of sub-industry of like voice actor idols types who can like do
Oh.
proper singing
Mhm.
for anime voice acting roles, as well as like actual be good.
How
decent
is that a
voice acting.
subtype? I'm not
It's
sure.
sort of a subtype
It's a bit
because it's a
niche.
different agency. It's sort of like partially in the music agency because a lot of these
Right.
people will also do like their own songs,
Mm.
or whatever that aren't actually part of.
So is
anime.
this like
might be
people
quite-
trying to break out kind of thing? So they're not like proper idols.
I think they're doing a
But they're
niche-
licensed
they're
as
just
this.
doing a niche
Yeah.
job. Like their niche job is
Yeah.
to
Well-
both be a voice actor and to be a singer that can
Yeah.
essentially contemplates a role which is musically inclined.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Well, to be
imagining
honest,
if you ever
neither
got
of
on
those
One
jobs
Piece
really
for
pay
that.
Well, so
No,
you
just
can
think
do
about it. If you
both.
ever got on One Piece, doing anything on One Piece, music
What-
related.
what-
I don't know, if you-
I don't know why they'd want it, but if you
What
ever got
I
on
say,
there,
They
if
don't
you-
really need any more skill.
If
They'll
you
just
want
be
to
doing
do
sea
anything musically
shanties.
on One Piece, I might set you on fire because
Yeah.
kids who have no sense of music in
that
show.
got me into rap.
Guys, dreaming.
yeah.
Don't give it up, Luffy.
Please, no, please don't sing that. I'm begging you.
Give it up, give it up.
You can always sing the German Naruto opening.
Ah. How does that go?
Guy, can I just ask one little question?
Yes.
You know, Nathan, you were going on about voice actors who can also sing.
Yeah.
The example that immediately came to my head was Aya Hirano.
From
Haruhi.
Oh, from Haruhi.
Haruhi,
Oh,
Kanata.
yeah.
That's her. Doesn't do much nowadays, sadly enough.
I guess because
Why
A
is
lot of
that?
people
the
for
role
Angel
is
Beats
very
don't do
niche.
anything because, like,
Mm.
what really saddened me was, you know, the guy who does the voice for TK in Angel Beats?
Yeah.
He's an American guy who literally went to Japan to try and do VAs as sort of like a guy who can actually speak English properly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants him. He's had like
They're like,
3
we
other
don't
voice
want
actors.
to. You don't speak proper
Like,
English.
TK was like his biggest role in the voice
Yeah.
acting industry ever.
He
And, like,
had
he
like
has
20 likes.
he's had like 3 other roles.
Oh.
That's
It's very sad.
When we're talking about voice actors who make musicians, I really hope the guy who does Krauser from Detroit I.C. is also the voice
Yeah.
actor. I'm so quite nice. Ooh! I hope they're the same person because that is hilarious to me. That is fantastic.
That's something we need to look up.
Mm.
I'm on it.
Well, you know, I'm going to be watching the Detroit Metal City Slice of
is
Life.
Detroit Metal
The
City.
actual live action movie
Oh.
eventually.
That sounds
It's
cool.
got everyone in it.
But yes.
How are they going to get away with all the
What?
stuff they say in the anime on the film?
No, they've already made it in the film. It has everything in there.
Oh,
my god.
That's going to be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
LR rated to the maximum. NC-17.
No. I think it's like a
Not to
15.
mention the actual actors who are going to be
Yeah.
like grabbing people and saying like,
You
"I'm
know,
going
I
to
don't
Thrusting
think.
against old men.
See, I don't think the capitalist pig's in there. That's the thing.
What? No.
Well, I don't see him. He wasn't. He's not on the cover photo anyway.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. There's no capitalist pigs.
Which is a sad thing.
Bondage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a very sad thing. Not to mention the gimp suit. I mean, seriously.
Wait, could you have said with David Cameron that he screwed the capitalist pig?
No, a literal pig.
Wait.
Not this one.
Hold on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. The low-hanging fruit.
Don't worry, there's this one to grab.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. And
Was
while
that
we're
really
doing-
worth a round of applause, Cameron?
That was a slow.
That was a
clap.
slow clap, you know, of
Sarcastic
appreciation.
clap.
Yeah.
The
As
best
it was.
kind.
And it
Still
might murder
acknowledging
people's
his
ears if you do it too
existence.
close to the microphone. But yeah, moving on from that, like we already talked a bit about like sort of well-known songs that we already sort of think of when we talk about anime soundtracks. But sort of going from that, they like the thing you have to
Oh,
focus
no.
about with anime soundtracks is there's always a composer behind them, very skilled musicians on the whole, and there's always sort of like running over themes that run with it because like a lot of people will know about say the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann
Yes.
soundtrack and how much they love that. And that was made by Toku Iwasaki, who also did the soundtrack for Soul Eater.
Oh, nice. Because they are both for my
Yeah.
playlist.
Yeah, and like he has like every single composer generally has a style that they go through, and like for him it's a very light jazzy thing. Like you wouldn't listen to it and say it's jazz, but it has it sort of in the tones.
Yeah.
He's doing Bungo Stray Dogs this season, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Breaking news.
Breaking news came
Maybe
out
that's
months
why.
ago.
Maybe that's why I also like the show. So much. I forgot about that.
Yeah. There's also some like there's also Yuki Kajiura, who's basically known to being the loud female operatic voices with violins, doing Madoka, Fate Zero.
Yeah.
I can't really name them all. She's got a massive lineup. Like you go on my anime list page, it's like 5 entire scroll pages long.
Where's Samurai
Wow.
Champloo and all this?
Yeah, I was just about to say, Samurai Champloo is probably got
One of the best
one of the best
soundtracks
soundtracks ever.
It's
sometimes
just not
forget
popular
Samurai
enough.
Champloo.
Shut up!
By the way, just one thing because you guys stole my thunder. I was going to mention Yuki Kajiura did the soundtrack for Sword Art Online.
You.
It's the best part of the show.
Some people were kept watching for it.
Yeah, but there's a
Get
lot.
to Gun Gale, you'll be fine.
There's a lot
Get to
behind
Gun
Yuki
Gale.
Kajiura. She did what's her face? She did Erased. She's going to do the Heaven's Feel movie for Fate Stay Night when it comes out
Woo.
like year after next year.
2017.
Yeah. And then there's moving on. There's also Reki Kawahara, who
Yeah. That's
I've
a name I know.
spoken about. Yeah, because it's really easy to say. I like saying it. Reki Kawahara.
He's a composer?
Yeah. Apparently he also did like Sword Art Online too. I don't know if there was like an issue with the Miami list or something, because like that seemed to be the only thing
Yeah,
listed.
that's weird. He wrote the entire books.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm getting confused with. Damn it. Fuck, I thought it was. That's like
the
such an
podcast.
idiot. Cancel the
Man.
podcast. Turn off the recording.
That
I got-
derailed harder than the trains in Railroad.
What trains
Don't
in
joke
Rail
about
Wars?
that.
The big bouncing train. Did you not look at them?
Yeah.
Wait, was it the plot?
Also, Cabanera the Iron Fortress now
Yeah.
the best show about trains ever. Now the best show
Oh.
about trains ever. Watch that instead of Rail Wars. Cabanera the Iron Fortress, best show about trains.
You really have a train fetish, don't you, Cameron?
Yeah.
Oh,
He-
I like,
There are actual
I like
people
trains.
with fetishes.
Oh God, that video! Completely
I like
forgot
trains.
about it.
Please do
hate
not
you
look
so
up
much.
train fetishes. It's just not a fun thing.
I'm just trying to
In
get the
fact,
Wi-Fi
if
fit. I
you're
typed in
looking
it,
up something
crashed.
with the word fetish in it, you're probably in a dark place.
What about obsession?
Could we please leave the fetishes out until Dan and I get to do our tropes thing,
Yeah,
please?
Uh,
And
that's a
we can
fair
always
point.
talk about Monster Musume while we're at it.
We cannot.
Yes, we can.
They've got an OVA coming out. It's relevant again.
Yeah.
Breaking news!
Snake Lady Titties are relevant again.
Wait, Snake Lady what?
Snake Lady Titties.
I don't want to know. I'm terrified of snakes.
Have
There's
you
also
never
Spider Lady titties.
Spider Lady Titties.
That'll do.
So it's like Spider-Man.
Mermaid Titties.
Basically, we're
Those are
covering
just normal
mythics.
titties.
Centaur Titties.
After a while, I'm
Can we
wondering.
Stop with that, please.
There's all kinds of monster-related titties in this show.
It's a
Uh,
beautiful show. It just brings a tear to my eye.
So artistic.
does it have any male chests, or are they just like excluded from it?
No, if you want male chest,
No.
go
Right.
see Mikasugi.
As far as
Kill
I
la
know,
Kill,
there's
and
like-
it's beautiful purple
There's only
nipples.
like the protagonist and one other man, and that man's
Yeah.
a dick.
Yeah,
Sexist is what that is. Sexist. Where's the
Is
males
that
in the
guy
industry?
Who basically holds Rachni-san hostage, basically, who was working for Rachni-san. I
mean,
Yeah.
We're doing a documentary. It's
Mm.
actually a pervert.
Oh yeah, there's like actually a lot, but I mean, they're all like perverts or assholes, so it's a fine mix.
The main character is basically sexless, so it makes a nice shade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like-
Sexless.
Pretty much.
No,
Unless
they just don't have any sex
Yeah, but I think
drive.
his it makes sense because he basically will
Unless-
get arrested and
They still have a gender.
deported if he actually has
Yeah.
sexual relations
Yeah,
with
it's true.
anyone, any of the
But
monster
I
girls.
think you can clearly tell where the show's going. Like, eventually they're gonna get the law changed or something. Like, they'll be like, "Look, they live and there's love and shit. This harem works. We need to install a
No,
new law."
They're just gonna have like a dramatic moment where they have like however, like 7 or 8 monster girls in the same room, and then you have Smith's son or Mrs. Smith.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's gonna be in there and like, so you can fuck now.
And then
See ya.
and then he's gonna be like, both my dreams and my nightmares have come true at once.
And I'm okay with
And
that.
I'm okay with it. What-
Is the same true for reverse harems? Will we get to see reverse harems?
That is a trope. If you want to, in fact, harem tropes are like a massive page.
Yeah.
So if you
I'm
want
gonna
me
say like 3 words.
Yes.
Please don't.
Actually, it might be 4 words. Or on High School
High
Host
School
Club.
Club.
Always with the offensive attacks.
Always a reverse horror. It's like the king
Well-
slash queen of reverse horror.
Yes.
Oron is amazing.
Or Wallflower.
I don't like that show.
One of us liked
To
Wallflower.
a degree, Fruits Basket is a reverse. To a degree, Fruits Basket.
Yeah.
Because she clearly likes all of them at one point.
But yeah, I'm gonna have like I
Yes.
still need to go through my composer list. I have 2 more sort of influential ones that people will know of.
Yep.
This one's a little bit more out there, but he did the composition for Shokugeki no Soma's soundtrack,
He made the food porn soundtrack.
and also
You.
he did Fate's Night Kaleid Liner Prisma Ilia,
Oh
which
my-
is also very outstanding. Like
Yep.
I know, like
I think
Someone,
that's
some.
all-
poor Cameron's just gonna
And the
die
Cameron
of
we
mental
liked too,
trauma.
it's like the Cameron
it's,
we
it's the plot was too much for
But
him.
yeah, that's Kato Tatsuya.
there are
Yeah.
there are points when even that amount of plot cannot be handled by one human alone.
That's why you have to watch it as a society.
I will
Spread it across the
I
team.
will like give very good credit to whoever
Yep.
does the animation for the show, or at least certain animation frames. They are very good at drawing lewd kisses.
It's true.
Mm.
I might go and watch the show. You know, for
No, you
Between-
for comparative
Between
purposes.
10-year-old girls.
If you want, hey, can I say, Dad, if you want to watch like genuinely,
Not into that.
if you want to watch like
Like
same,
seriously.
if you want to watch same gender kisses that actually have a reason and are done well with character, go watch Sakura Trick. Come on, Sakura Trick is an excellent show. At least give yourself quality.
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay. They're not 10.
Yeah, saying that his style, I like listened to a few of his tracks, and I actually like. I mean, I knew like the soundtracks of his anime, like probably the most of anyone I've got on this list. And they are they build up tension really slowly, and then they sort of hit this peak, but it's never like full guns blaring like say Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann does.
Yeah.
But it's very like if you have the spare time, like give Resident Evil a chance, even if it's just the soundtrack. Look up like Excalibur Clash from its soundtrack or Emiya Ilia, I think people would tend to call it. Like they're very good tracks standing on their own.
Do you know what would be fun if we came up with like a soundtrack of our own as a society?
It would be a terrible soundtrack.
It would be
It'd be a great soundtrack.
It'd be us with like a flute and we just going.
No, I mean we make a playlist of soundtracks we like.
Oh, that
I
sounds.
Not
said-
create
I
music.
say one person each gets a song they can contribute to the
Just
soundtrack.
one song.
Just one.
Fine, Shingeki no Bahamut.
Wait. So are we still doing covers of the song though as well?
Yes.
So we can sell it.
Are we?
Yeah. Let's just pick our lists. Let's go get the lyrics. All right. We go do our own stuff.
Yeah, we can do our own cover.
Well, I don't have
come
to
back
pick them.
together.
I've better still memorize the English parts, but whatever.
Like we just have to pick all
Wait.
the ones with really high
Yeah.
notes so we can all
Yes.
break our voices.
Yes.
It'll go horrible.
And then there'll be that
screwy.
one person you discover, which
Who can
is
sing it.
yeah,
Sing.
and then they get picked up just like Justin Bieber. And
Is that what happens?
yeah, he was actually on YouTube, played the drums while singing, and then he got found by Justin Timberlake or something like that. Found him.
Usher.
Was it Usher?
Yeah.
I don't. Do you see? This is how
I
much
don't
my
follow
knowledge
pop
of music.
culture and I know
But
this.
anyway, he was picked up
Because
on
Usher was
YouTube.
a stupid.
Okay, so you know Usher picked him up. I know he was on YouTube first. There we go. Together we've discovered news.
Yes,
I knew
that is
that.
news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
What's
Yeah,
that, Viri?
breaking news.
That's
Oh.
more like
Breaking
that's more like
news.
ancient history. Ancient history.
Look,
Oh.
That's
in
like
this
when I was still in
podcast,
secondary school.
the
history,
breaking
mate.
news is
Yeah.
to slowly get further from the current days.
This podcast is the literal embodiment of the slowpoke meme. Guys, I have breaking news. Oh, okay. Thanks. Did you know that Pokemon Sun and Moon is coming out?
Oh, really?
Dear Pokemon Red, Yellow, and Green have recently.
What?
Wait,
Can we get
yellow
back to
wasn't that, was
composers,
it? It was
please?
Yeah.
Red, Green.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So moving on, like I've already talked about sort of like the standing out, well-known sort of like stuff that you can listen to and you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm hyped. Oh, I remember this from the show.
My granddad
Like
does
the
the same
power.
thing.
Sort of songs. But I think
Yeah.
like the stuff that people don't focus on as much when we talk about soundtracks are like when I mentioned the initial types, the scenic and atmospheric types of songs, which you'll very rarely like. You might be able to hear it and say, oh, that's from X, but you'll never remember what the track is because it's not. It doesn't have enough distinguishing features, perhaps.
So these are like tracks that underlie certain moments. in the
Yeah,
show.
like
So yeah, if we're talking about that, I think Your Line April does that very well because it's a music themed show, so everything seems to entangle quite well.
yeah, but I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was somebody I had to look up for this because I knew they did this. Okay, which is Dewa Yoshihari, or I think that's his full name. It's a weird name, but that's basically his name. He does the soundtrack for Flying Witch, so I had to look this up, and that's sort of what led me onto this in the first place because like
Yeah.
Flying Witch was the point where I realized I can appreciate soundtracks without them having to be in your face, blaring, or like not like being the central focus.
I think with that show, it helps that you're not being overburdened with stuff within the plot of the show. It's because the show is light as it is, you can actually enjoy.
Yuki
Yeah.
Kaja
aspects
should
of
But
do
the
the
it has-
Flying Witch
For me, that
soundtrack.
was Angel Wings.
Huh?
Yuki Kaja should do the Flying Witch soundtrack.
But yeah, but he
Influence is
also did the soundtrack for Nagi no Asakura.
Ah! Lull of the Sea.
Yes,
That's another show
It's a-
it's more dramatic than Blind
like it's
Witch.
actually a show which I've only like heard of
It's
once, and I
fantastic,
rarely
it's
hear
great.
people talk about. But it's really highly rated. It's 180 on my anime list, which is like the point where you're saying you can't really even say this is really bad. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's at the point where
Well,
it's,
you know my policy on my anime list. It doesn't
yeah,
doesn't
but, like, my
understand
anime list, when
taste.
something hits
Yeah.
like where it is, which I think it's like 8.4, 8.5, it's like really high up.
A Lull of the
like,
Sea
for
is a
them.
really very beautifully designed, like art-wise, show with some great little character stuff going on. I actually really like
But
it.
yeah, I listened to the soundtrack of that for basically 2 hours before this podcast because I was like, okay, this is done by somebody who did Flying Witch soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's got to be good. And it, like, I realized the similar themes between the two, in which it usually only has like the leading like main instrument is always like acoustic guitar or
Acoustic
violin.
guitar.
Yes. Acoustic.
Hey, we're playing the acoustic guitar.
That is literally the first time I've ever heard someone say.
Acoustic.
that.
Acoustic.
Acoustic guitar.
Acoustic.
Yeah.
But yes.
I don't know why there's two
We're
levels of
hit.
that.
This
Yeah.
is going to be something that nobody's going to be really relating to me, and I hope there are, but it reminded me of visual novel soundtracks, and that sounds like a weird thing to say, but, like, nobody will... Okay, I'm saying nobody. There's probably somebody out there, I hope. I want fellow kinsmen in this.
Yep.
But visual novel soundtracks, because
You'll find the one, Nathan.
visual novels are a format where you have
Yeah.
music playing, but the scene
Yeah.
goes at your own speed. You read as fast as you can read, and very
Yeah.
rarely do you have times where the text progresses itself for you to sort of fit with the timing of like how they show the scene. And that means that usually the soundtrack has to be easy to repeat and doesn't grind you, but is also very memorable and fitting to the scene. And that's how I felt when like I listened to the Naoya Asakura soundtrack. It felt like the sort of thing I could hear in a visual novel. And that meant that it's a really sort of relaxing tone that could fit with many scenes, but it has a very distinguishable cursor to it. It doesn't feel like it's being drowned out by other sort of parts of the story, though it doesn't make it something that's also at the front of the story as well. But yeah.
Wait, so you mean it's like the sound? It'll be basically playing the whole way through.
Yeah, in visual novels, there's you have times where there's like bare silence, and usually it's
Yeah.
either for like atmospheric effects where they really want you to focus on the text.
Or because they're too cheap to pay for it.
Yeah, or if they're too cheap. There are some visual novels that don't have soundtracks.
Then we're making a soundtrack of just silence.
Why,
We're
why
doing
are you
this.
involving me in this?
You're my nearest person.
I mean, one of like my favorite
You have two
visual
people right behind
novel of all time, which I have mentioned before,
Hello.
which is
God, that's how
Skihime.
creepy. Hello. You sound like Zulu. Zulu from Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't need an extensive soundtrack in visual
Yeah.
novels to be effective. My favorite, like,
We're filming 2 minutes, guys.
yeah, visual novel of all time, which is Skihime, which
Yeah.
I've mentioned before in both visual novel and anime form, which doesn't exist. The anime doesn't exist. Just to let you know, it doesn't.
Feels bad, man.
It doesn't exist.
Exists only in the realm of mangas.
But yeah, that
In the-
original
in the
visual novel
dreams.
only had 9 tracks its soundtrack, I think, and
Right.
2 were like really bare bones atmospheric sort of tracks where
Mm.
you can't really call it music, and it was more like really tense, just
What,
low
just like-
pitched noises. Like you can imagine a noise make
Yeah.
if somebody were dragging chains across a room and it was echoing over like a kilometer away.
Yeah.
And that soundtrack is really great. Like I
Yes.
love every song of it. And it was really great for the visual novel as well. But I'm getting on a deviated tangent. So that's sort of like I would call atmospheric or scenic songs. And Dewa Yoshihahi, or however I'm pronouncing this wrong or correctly, is sort of like the primary point of what I would say that is.
What's this?
Because I basically went with what I knew
The
was
time
good from what I'd
or the
watched,
breast?
and then looked up composers who matched them. So those are the sort of people I would like keep my eye on if I were to see new anime coming out. Hope I'm not
It's
overrunning
okay.
on
It's
this.
until we've got 2 hours in there.
And then I guess also what I mentioned earlier, which was Yu Yuri's 3rd season. That like Yu Yuri is a bit weird because it doesn't have consistent composers. I believe they had like 2 composers for like the 1st and 2nd
Like swapping
season,
in and
Yeah.
out.
and then another composer for the 3rd. But I feel like the 3rd season had its best work of music because it's like how would I put it? This is
Yeah.
gonna sound weird, but like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
You know how you have like
Yeah.
silent scenes of him, and you always
Yes.
have like the music in the background is used to
Yes.
work with the. That's what Yuri Yuri does in its 3rd season a lot.
Okay.
The music often coincides with how the scene is going, and it's very bare bones. Like usually only 2 or 3 instruments at most, and it's really light. It's like if you're playing the glockenspiel or like playing a little flute.
I'm sorry, that word always makes
It's
me
like
giggle.
it's like the what's that famous? There's a famous music on the Glock video. It's called the stripper, which is dun 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 dun, and it's very famous for being very bare bones. So
Yeah,
I think bare bones is no limitation.
but I
on-
mean, you can look up scenes from Yuri Yuri Sunhai, which is like the official name for the 3rd season, and there are like, I think the specific best example I can see, which I found, was the spider scene, which
Yeah.
is just like a 37-second clip, where like pay attention to like how the music coincides with how the tone is going, because when like the base show basically shows these girls and there's a spider in the room, all right. And it's a very like typical cute sort of, well, it's basically a moe show, but I mean, it's got its funny moments everywhere. And this sort of particular scene, they're all like afraid of the spider, but they want to sort of prove that they're brave enough to deal with it. And one of them goes forward, and it sort of had this sort of tense moment when she like decides she's going to try and tackle this spider. The music coincides with it. It sort of builds up, and it's a bit ominous. And then she like grasps it in her hands. And it's like, I've got it. And then like it's silent for like 2 seconds. And then like the animation follows with it, because then like the spider just stands still. You get sort of an inside look of her hands being clasped around it. And it wriggles around, and then suddenly gets really skitterish in the music, and then she like throws it at one of her friends out of panic.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway,
It might not be like the scene that you would go, oh yes, best scene of any anime of all time, even in this series.
But it's a great example of what your point.
Yeah,
about
well,
how
my point is
soundtracks,
about
yeah.
how you can use a soundtrack to tell the scene as well as the actual animation and voice
It's
acting.
kind of like Peter and the Wolf, isn't it? You know, you can with that song, you can get rid of the whole point of the song was to create in your head the idea of the whole thing of Peter and the Wolf, and then they obviously put in animation later.
Oh, so they just called it Peter and the Wolf.
Yeah,
and
it was
you
called
to think-
Peter and the Wolf, and the idea was that you would listen to the soundtrack, and then you could see, kind of imagine roughly what was going on.
Yeah, I
You
think
know.
like anime does that to a lesser extent. Although
Yeah.
like I couldn't find the scene because it was like the best example I'd seen of it, which is
Yes.
also in the third season of Yuri, where a girl who is mute.
Right.
Well, she's not mute. She speaks really quietly. She actually is a voice actor, but
Yeah.
like you have to stop, download the video of the anime, like,
And then turn it
the
up for a
volume
dick.
bunch when she's like talking or opening
Yeah.
her mouth, and she is a voice actor. But basically, she's mute since only one other character in the entire
Mm.
show can hear her. And there's a scene where she basically just goes around for it's a good like 4-minute scene, like very long single scene,
Yeah.
where she spends an entire morning of a day until the end, and it's got like there's no sound at all other than the soundtrack, but the soundtrack is going along with what's happening in the animation, and she's like going to people, helping them out, and then
Yeah.
like they're giving her trinkets as like thanks for what she's doing for them. Then she like goes to another person, and the trinket she got from the previous person helps
she-
them out, and then she gets another one. It's
I
like,
see how this
God,
system
like
is
that
working.
quest
One
in-
small favour to
like
100.
quest in Link's Awakening.
yeah, it's like a trading quest in
Yes.
an RPG.
God's sake.
Anyway, I think I'm going to have to put the music on, Nathan, and then it's on to you, Daniel.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're out of
Trope
Womanizer.
Thursdays.
So what did you want on, Daniel, for your one? Your Yandere?
Beyonce Crazy in Love.
Crazy. Why are you naming Beyonce?
Because
It makes
fits
sense.
the
The
Yandere
50 Shades
theme.
of Grey version.
Because it fits the Yandere
Why
theme.
can't we have something
Yeah.
like Killer Queen from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Killer Queen.
Killer
That's
Queen
also a
what?
good one.
Yeah. Then I can also link it to
Okay.
what I'm
No,
gonna say
dude,
for you.
have-
Or maybe the
no,
female of this
have,
species is deadlier than the
What is
male.
the song from Chicago by the women in the prison? I can't
They
remember.
had it coming.
They had it coming.
Wow.
That's a perfect
Yeah.
one.
Yes,
They
I
had
love
it coming.
I love that.
They had it coming.
I feel like we're going to get banned for that.
Come on, they had it coming.
So many things we get done for.
I love the
next
Russian
song
slash.
is-
Okay.
European one. It's like, no.
So there'll be a different sound in the studio
All
there.
right, let's go.
Okay.
Yay.
It's Daniel and Tim here,
hello.
and we are going to be finally finishing our series that we've been doing for the last.
Good lord, it's been a time. How many weeks?
Yeah, it's
4,
the
5?
fourth week now.
Jeez.
And, we didn't do it last week.
This
because
is the
we-
highest point of our ratings. The finale.
All our
But,
ad revenue
yeah.
is coming in
And
now.
Yeah.
so we've been discussing the Dere family.
The
We started with
Darely
some
fam.
Dere, went on to Crew and Dandere,
Every week.
and now we are concluding with what's arguably
What's
the
that?
most popular one,
Yes.
and that's Yandere. So
He
kind
said
of
in a
defining
small
a
laugh.
Yandere, it's a character stereotypically female, but doesn't have to be. Kind of like all the Dere family, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they harbor a violent obsession for another character. What's really interesting about Yandere is that, unlike the other three, often people don't believe they're Yandere.
What do you mean?
Traditional Yandere tend to be cute and harmless on the outside, but completely
Batshit insane.
Yep.
on the inside. And a really good example of a current kind of Yandere who fits that clothing is, and I'm probably going to botch this, Anna Nishikiyo no Miya from Shimoneta A Boring World.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
She isn't a yandere at all.
She
is definitely a
She
yandere.
just doesn't
She
kill people.
sexually assaults him
Just because you're.
multiple times.
I could go
Yeah.
into Shimoneta a lot, but I'll hold off for
I
now.
love Shimoneta personally. I mean, like, it's a wonderfully out of the walls show that I didn't
Oh,
actually
it's like
expect.
a balls out, totally insane show.
You're gonna fill in people who haven't watched it?
It's
It's like
absolutely great.
it's basically a show in which all sort of anything sexual is outlawed, any dirty jokes, anything bad is outlawed. But there's like
Yeah.
a resistance movement who literally exclusively deals in sexuality and
porn. basically.
porn and swear words.
This is the Ann Summers revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
basically, the funny thing about it is, isn't it just like freedom fighters who are
Yeah.
really just fighting for like stuff that we'd expect. They're all complete idiots.
Oh, they're morons.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like absolute perverts in one way or another. Like
That's the
They
point.
don't like go into
Yeah.
detail, but there's all like these resistance forces across like Japan.
Yeah.
Never has pervert served society in a greater way than this.
And they all have like a specific directional fetish that they're trying to
Yeah.
fight for freedom.
Remember the underpant guy?
Yeah, the pants guy. There's like
Jesus
You mean,
Christ.
there was like
you
this
mean White Peak?
I can't remember. I think there was this entire one which was just MILFs. Like,
Oh.
or
That's-
something
I get-
like
I
that.
get
I
that.
can't remember all the names of the forces, but they had like these really funny names that like
Yeah.
completely summarized what they were all really weird about.
See, this is
So
like
kind
a-
of returning to Anna, the reason I consider her this trope is that she's the head of what's basically the young Puritans.
Yeah, she's like part of the control force in the school.
And her mother and father are very important kind of legislators in making sure that the kind of morality law is updated and passed and whatever. But after she is accidentally kissed by the main character, because she has no idea how to kind of, she's never felt
Like,
this
this
way
also has
before
like,
and,
although it's like dramatized, this also has foundation in reality. Like you find.
Wait. So if in reality,
No, no,
right,
no, listen
guy
to
or
me.
girl kisses you for the first time,
Listen
your
to me
first
here.
thoughts are, where will I bury them in the well?
No.
No, I don't think she ever wants to kill the main
No,
character,
like-
but
No,
her-
just viciously
She's ridiculously
brutalize
oppressive.
him.
She's
What?
ridiculously possessive, basically.
Okay.
Usually,
she-
if you kill anybody, it's anyone who dares go near your
Definitely.
senpai. I will kill anyone for senpai. You go near my senpai, bitch!
How comes I don't have any assassins?
Because you're not a senpai. You're nobody's
What?
senpai.
What?
Yeah.
Can we carry on, please? The rest of you, shut up.
So
Did you like my
going into kind of the history of Yandere,
Yeah.
Wait, let me show
Oh, let's
it's
see.
an exaggerated deconstruction of a trope called Yamato Nadeshiko, which is supposed to be the idealized Japanese woman, normally the wife of a warrior like a samurai or something like that, who is supposed to be graceful and feminine, but also quite capable of picking up a dagger or a bow and defending her family to the death. So it's that kind of graceful femininity, but with steel inside her.
And the link here.
And the link is that Yandere is that, but Flanderized.
Now,
It's exaggerated.
Yes, I'm going to ask
So
you a very
it's-
important question here.
Yeah.
Do you know who the first Yandere in Japanese culture was? Because Yandere has like
There's-
Yandere, not what it's built out for Japan, has existed before Japan made it.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the book, but there was a very famous book which sort of like led on from I can't remember what it is. Like I can't like it's sort of like legends of
So basically, it's like folktale, Japanese folktales, and
There
you're
was
saying
a-
there's an old
yeah.
one about it.
Yeah, there was a novel.
Right.
Okay, this isn't the one I'm talking about. There was a novel that sort of started the very thing, which was
Yeah.
about a fictional thing about the Hungarian Countess Elizabeth Bathory,
Yep. She
Okay.
was the woman who bathed in
Bathed in
blood.
blood,
I
yeah.
believe.
and she was
A great
basically-
woman.
and
I think that
basically
makes you
there
a
was-
youthful skin for
Yeah,
life.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to make you youthful.
There was a novel
Still
written
works.
which sort of like was the Dracula for women,
Yeah.
which was
Ooh.
basically portraying her as a vampire known as Camilla, and that's basically
Married to the Prince Charles
Yeah.
Camilla.
Not that Camilla.
So-
You sure? She looks like she bathed in blood a few times.
It looked like she absorbed the life force of
Yeah.
Prince Charles.
Not that he had much to begin with.
Yeah. If you see
And I'm
the
sure his
there's a
dad was
TV
the
series
one
called
who was
Royals,
the
I think it is. It's meant to take the mick out of that. It basically implies that's exactly what happened with Camilla.
So kind of returning to my original point is that
Yeah.
Yandere kind of got popular with probably the most popular Yandere in existence, and that's Yunogasai from Mirai Nikki. But arguably it didn't start.
Cameron, do you need your book?
No.
It started with
Okay.
I'm like holding her name in my face, and if you don't say it, I'm gonna like
Yeah.
penalize you.
in terms of anime, it kind of started with Sekai and Kotohana from School Days.
Oh really? When
Yeah.
were school
Yes,
days? I
really.
ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When were school days? What year?
2007.
Oh, very incorrect. Very
That's
first
it.
Yandere was in 1989,
You were way off then.
and also
That was
equally-
actually
Breaking news!
and also in 2016, and it's
Okay.
from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4.
No
Diamonds of
way.
Breakable, and that is Yamagashi Yukuko.
really.
Yes, she's a very, very clear Yandere. And,
Well, that's very
and
interesting.
the manga for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the chapter that had her in was in like 1989. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure, or at least like 1990s. I can't remember the exact date.
There's also a case.
So are we saying Wikipedia is wrong?
There's also a case,
TV tropes, but okay.
there's also a case that one of the early ones is a character from the anime Shuffle, but I can't remember her name. Hang on, let me find her.
Anyway, so an interesting page is why you would want to date a yandere. Like,
I've thought
Why
so.
wouldn't
what
you?
would the
See that?
attraction?
The
to dating
craziness.
a crazy
Can I say
person be?
it's summed up in a very easy way? Crazy in the head, crazy in bed.
Boof.
It's that. It's
We got a
that
guy who knows
danger,
what he's on.
that
I'm
thrill
gonna
of
give you,
dating a
like,
crazy person.
sort of proof about yanderes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you physical features of yanderes. Normally, like you don't cover them, but
Dead eyes. does it for
yanderes,
me.
yeah. What about their hair?
Dead
What
eyes.
would you say is common for yanderes and their hair?
Often weird. Well, I say weird colors, but I'm
Yeah.
just thinking of
Yeah, you're thinking of like Sai.
Yeah, not all yanderes have weird hair color. One of my favorite yanderes is Nina Einstein from Code Geass, or some people like to call her Table Woman.
Yes.
do you know a weird thing? There's I considered another yandere in the show, and it's is it Rolo Lelouch? Rona, like his like.
What, the boy?
Yeah, they had like his like is his brother adopted brother because he kills
Yeah,
people who try
yes.
to get in the way of Lelouch's brotherly thing, and it's like
Yeah, they're.
that is really creepy.
And then dies at the end over it, I
Yes.
think, as well. He takes a bullet for him.
and
Spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Breaking news spoiler.
We've
Wait, he dies.
Oh.
the yandere section is crawling
Yeah.
with spoilers. I mean, that Table Woman comment is a
I don't
spoiler.
know really. Like most people treat it as a joke, and
Yeah.
like, you might not get it at first, but I mean, Table Kun is quite the bachelor.
If you don't get the reference, I'm going to spoil it for you. Nina Einstein falls in love with somebody. But
No more spoilers.
Damn.
No.
Look at you.
Spoil things all
On the
time.
cliffhanger.
Okay, so kind of famous yandere because I really want to wrap this up and give Cameron some time.
Yes.
I've obviously mentioned Yuno Gisai, one of the most popular from Mirai Nikki. One of my favorite is one of the few male kind of yandere, and that's Creed from Black Cat.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Oh,
actually.
right.
Yeah.
And he is definitely yandere towards Train.
And Drain fucking hates him. Like
And Train should, because Creed is scary. It's even more explicit in the manga,
Yeah.
where
I
they're
only-
fighting
I
and
only
Train
read the
kind of...
manga, yeah.
Yeah, Train falls on top of him and Creed has an orgasm. You know what I'm talking about.
It's been a while since I've read Black.
Yeah.
I believe I've said it before, but it's one of the first mangas I ever read.
Yeah, Train tackles him and Creed lets out a suspicious moan.
Suspicious. Is that what it says in the manga? Does it say
No, it's
a suspicious moan
no.
was released?
It's been like,
Do you know a weirder one that hits closer to home for you, Daniel, is that there's an argument that Griffin
I was just about to say, it's literally.
It's on the list.
because in the beginning he makes the sense of he says he owns guts, and his whole quest is to go further into the idea of him owning guts, and it
There's also a more,
goes into the weird bit of Yandere. Is like no one else can own him but me, and it's like
there's also a more
Yeah.
explicit yandere in Berserk, and that's Rosine,
yes,
who is yandere towards Jill.
see,
But that's in the manga. I don't.
Yeah.
Rosine
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
show up in
only
the
in
anime.
manga.
it hasn't got
So,
round to being animated yet.
Hopefully, she'll be in.
Yeah.
The
But,
depths of the
see,
Because
berserk.
I actually really like.
alright.
Wait, do you think she's going to be in the berserk? that
Oh
comes
yeah, they
out?
will.
So-
I still think my personal favorite is still like Lucy from Elfenlied.
Damn it, you're stealing Gorbel.
Daniel, maybe you should start by saying what you're going to be
Can I
talking
say,
about.
she is clearly the most violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who walks in 10 foot of her, I'm going to murder them all. And it's seemingly for no reason, but obviously she's protecting the main character because she knows she did something wrong,
Yep.
something horribly, horribly wrong. Spoilers.
So she'll just do a lot of horrible, horrible wrong things
No,
to make
literally,
up
I
for
think there's a bit where another Demunculus appears and like
Cyclonius.
Cyclonius appears, and the first thing she does is like remove her legs.
Yep.
And Lucy's like, "Get the fuck away from us!" And it's like, okay. And it's like she's literally terrifying, but then she has the kind of semi-annoying character of Mew, which is like basically like a mewling.
It's not semi-annoying. It's annoying.
But
Let's not beat around the bush.
Lucy, I think, is a great one because she's literally epitome of the violent Yandere.
Yeah.
It's like, you go near this guy, I'm just literally going to remove all your limbs or twist your head off with my psychic
Well, I
arm.
suppose that's
And,
one way to stop him from cheating. You know?
Especially with his cousin.
Or you could do school days and just brutally murder him.
Yep.
You'll never cheat again, right? As you stab him in the chest.
There's no effect at that.
So
Wait, can I cheat
returning
in heaven?
to
Yes.
famous Yandere, Genkaku from Dead Man Wonderland. He's the musician character.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's terrifying.
Was he in the anime?
How,
Yes, he's
Yes,
the
he is.
anime.
Okay.
How
He's also
about-
in the manga.
how about Belarus from Hitalia Axis powers.
Yep, that's on my list.
An
Returning to
entire
Denma
country?
Wonderland, Returning to Denma Wonderland. Shiro
Yep.
actually is definitely Yandere for
Is
cancer.
that the girl with the red eyes?
The girl
The
with
albino? Yeah.
the albino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like hearing pigs fly, like having two yanderes in the same show.
One of my favorite
That's why
ones.
it flopped.
One of my favorite ones.
There's one from Basilisk, I know.
Yeah, there's Kagero from Basilisk.
Yeah.
She's the ninja who can kill people by having sex with them.
Death by sex.
And which is
True
actually
Black
true.
Widow. Real Black Widow right there.
People-
That sounds more like a Bond villain
Isn't
to
that
me.
just like
Do-do-do.
Kunoichi,
Pussy
though?
galore.
Like that's sort of the thing of female ninjas.
Yeah.
Have you mentioned Mika Harima from?
Damn it!
Okay.
Daniel,
she's a
are you
stalk-
getting this?
She is literally a stalker.
Do you
She's
want to
literally
just
no. I got my.
If it's the
Cameron,
trope
could you
list,
do
he's
the
got
universe
it.
a favour?
Yes.
Okay.
Mika
Woo.
Harima and
It's a
Seiji
battle of apprentices.
are definitely two Yandere that actually are unique because they get together
Yeah.
Oh.
in very auspicious circumstances.
Yes.
Because Seiji is Yandere towards Selti, the Dullahan,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
he really likes her face.
Right.
And Mika is so Yandere for him that once she gets into a massive accident and has to get facial reconstructive surgery, she chooses to look like Selti. And it works. They're a couple.
Oh
You.
my god.
So,
Can I just tell people that is not the way to get anyone to love you?
yeah. I mean, seriously, girls and
Isn't
guys,
Selti's
if
head
your
like
significant
made of
other-
shadows?
if you have to resort to that, it's probably not a healthy relationship.
don't even exist.
Yeah.
If you have your head straight, and that's a bad joke considering
That's
Dullahan's. If you do,
Make sure your head's screwed on tight.
Yeah.
You never know when you might you never know when you might lose and have to go to a different continent.
Yeah, we don't know how buttons work. No.
please bear in mind we are being nearly silently.
Well, we came in and it was like 5 minutes. Pete just walked in, by the way. We came in, it's 5 minutes after start time, so we were like, we need to start immediately.
The big one
Yeah.
that says on, the on
Okay.
symbol, that one turns the lights on.
Yeah, but there's no words with it. Where's
Besides, it wasn't
there's
that
no
dark.
instruction manuals.
I didn't even know it's for the lights.
Yeah. And
Anyway, it's so much better now with the light on.
Subvert as well. Like it doesn't. It is also one that doesn't have to be very gender
Oh.
specific, where some of them are a lot of the time.
Mhm.
This is one that is literally, as long as they're in love and psychopathic, you can literally have
Yes.
anyone be. And it's not limited.
like I've seen depressed Yandere
it's-
where
yeah,
where they get suicidal and
and it's not
really
lim-
depressed
It's
when
not
they don't get what they
limited by
want.
what kind of love it is. It doesn't have to be like love as in attraction. It can
Yeah.
be like, but the Lelouch example is good. It's brotherly. It's the affection between brothers. It's that, and that's what's stopping it.
or
It's not-
Seiji's sister towards him in Durara.
Oh no! Oh,
But I think on the whole, like, Yandere,
Or Tsukiyama from Tokyo Ghoul, who doesn't want to sleep with Kaneki, he wants to eat him. Then sleep with him, maybe.
Yeah.
Daniel,
What kind
I-
of eat though?
Yeah.
you
but,
are going real deep.
Yeah.
No, literally eat him.
Yeah.
Cannibalism.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because he
Good
tastes-
times.
'cause he
Best
tastes-
kind of love.
Did you not tell when he sniffed the handkerchief? He goes, Trivia! That's this whole character arc, basically.
But
Do you know, I remember watching that, and my parents were just downstairs, and it was on loud, and you just hear this, Trevian! And I just, oh,
I
good lord.
love that character. I really do. So basically, that's us done with the Demo
Yeah.
series. Thank you for tuning in.
Will you
Okay.
continue your tropes next time? Just find different tropes rather
Oh.
than dairy tropes.
Yes, obviously.
Yay.
What else would I be doing?
Can we have
That's my segment.
protagonist tropes?
We're doing
Yes.
tragic backstories first, isn't it?
No, we're not starting with that because that's really depressing.
Okay, I'm gonna put on the break music.
Yep.
Yes.
The break music.
We have
Break
5
music.
minutes.
The end.
I came in a bit cold there. I think you guys have been waiting long enough.
No.
And this is going to be the shortest segment. of
Yeah.
the-
I've come in and I have 2 minutes now to talk about what is probably an incredibly dramatic segment. Well, I have to talk about it next week, won't I, really? But,
No,
There
next
is
week.
no next week.
okay. What, the world hasn't ended already, has it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why the end is
Evangelion?
happening.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so what I was going to talk about is basically Moe.
Yeah.
You know, it's a huge thing in Japan. They talk about Akihabara. I've been reading the Japanese newspapers that have been going on for a while, and it has been a huge thing in not just Japan, but South Korea as well. Countries where there is a lot of this anime going on, there's been a huge problem. in that fertility rates are dramatically down, so far so that they say Japan, if it goes at the rate it is, in 150 years' time, there'll be no one living in Japan. That entire hospitals are collapsing, they're not really got anyone going there.
I blame Japan for pioneering so many great alternatives to sex.
Do you know, there's even papers being written where it's giving women and men advice for if your girlfriend or boyfriend also has a 2D or 3D girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're starting to, there's a conflict of interest, and these people are picking the 2D or 3D girlfriend. Statistics have also put that in our generation, over there, more men and women are turning towards the idea of just having 2D or 3D girlfriends. They don't want to have sex because they find it disgusting, and they don't want to get married. What? Oh. We'll bring you back to the full video, don't worry, you just keep listening.
But, 1 minute.
Yeah, and there's other things they bring up, there's entire books that have been written in Japan questioning this, if it's a psychology thing. Do you know, you may not know this, but do you know child pornography?
Oh yeah, I'm really familiar with it.
Not personally.
Boku no Pico. Anyway, that was out, do you know when it was outlawed in Japan?
1939.
No.
Why was oddly specific?
1968, I think it's the 60s.
Vera's quite close, 2014.
Really?
2014 is when child pornography was outlawed in Japan.
But still not lowlies, though.
That was before that. No, but anime is not affected. So, your 2D and 3D girlfriends can be whatever age you want, in whatever positions you want. And that was actually they put pictures of this in that same Japanese book where they were talking about the psychology element. And there was questions to them going, well, Japanese society is free of all sexual expression, but clearly that has caused a dramatic problem for their society and for the South Korean society, and how this is kind of connecting across them. And what I wanted to talk about is obviously how can you really solve that problem? And this is an epidemic, and they say it's spreading across the border, because over here in Europe and in America, you start to see the same culture rise up.
Yeah, I mean,
Stop making great alternatives to sex.
So,
there is no great
10
alternative.
years, maybe 15 years ago,
Yeah.
you probably say to an anime fan, Dakimura.
Yes.
And they'll say, what the hell is that? Now you say, oh, waifu pillows.
Anyway,
Pillows.
we're going to have to talk more about that next year. That's
See
like
you
it's
then.
a
Thank
silent
you for
cliffhanger.
listening
Yeah.
to our madness.
It's been a wild
Yes.
ride for this term.
Good Lord, has it
Wild
been.
ride.
And
Yeah.
if any authorities are listening, no, I'm not familiar with child porn.
None of us are.
None of us are. We're just familiar with the question.
Least of all
Alright.
me, because I'm the total noob here.
Yes.
And I feel like
It's
I
been
failed as an
it's been
apprentice.
interesting. We've gone from having just,
Yeah.
just 3 of us, and now we've just been expanding.
Yeah, and now it's
over,
like
it's been
8,
great.
10,
We now
11. Got it. Be 20 next year as well. Radio show next
have-
year.
we'll be
All the
leaving
things
too
we've been
many
doing.
chairs in here.
Oh.
A
We'll
wall
be
of
fretted with death. Anyway,
That's how we'll stop the Titans.
yes.
Now we'll do
The meat wall.
All
The
right.
Trump meat wall.
So let's all say
the Titans pay for it.
we'll say goodbye from us and see you all next year.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for
Hey,
tuning in and
goodbye. Vera also said goodbye.
Oh my ears, god damn it.
Big shout.